Hey, what's going on? I'm Sean Eng, president of the Rotary Club of Harrisburg. We're the number 23rd club in all of the world. We are part of a network of 1.2 million members dedicated to putting service above self. Our members are just like you, passionate about making a difference and beyond. Whether you want to join us for a Rotary luncheon, service on a Monday, or attend an upcoming membership drive, you'll find purpose, connection, and a chance to give back. If you've been working hard and wondering how you can live a more fulfilling life, join us at the Alexander campus for Jewish Life, Mondays at noon. Make an impact today. We'd love to have you. Find out more on our website at hbgrotary.org. See you there.
I think you're in for a real treat today. For those of you that have not seen Julie present in the past or be familiar with Peyton Walker Foundation, I think there's a wonderful story, but also in terms of what's happened, both in terms of the lean in that Julie had as a result of her daughter's sudden death and where the organization is today. There's a lot more under the surface that's gone on. So it's my great honor to introduce Julie.
Thank you. Do you have the clicker? Thank you. And can you put it in presentation mode? So if some of you may have heard our story before, but for those of you who have not, I always start by saying a phone call changed my life. What started out as the absolute perfect fall morning for my husband and I, we just sat down for breakfast on a Saturday morning. It was interrupted by a phone call from the president at King's College, where our daughter Peyton was a sophomore attending and intending to be a physician assistant. And he was calling to let us know that she had just been taken by ambulance to Wilkes-Barre Hospital. And any college parent knows this. Your first thing you think, okay, was she out drinking last night? What in the world is going on? So we started to get ready to head up to Wilkes-Barre to make that trip. And then our phone rang again. And this time it was Wilkes-Barre Hospital, a nurse calling to let us know that Peyton had just been brought in full cardiac arrest. We were stunned. We didn't even know what that meant. A 19-year-old kid is in cardiac arrest. So we made that impossible drive, lost Peyton that day, did not get to say goodbye. We learned everything we could about sudden cardiac arrest. But again, it just shows you how quickly life can change on a dime, because we started at a perfect day and ended with signing the paperwork to plan our daughter's funeral. Peyton wanted to work in healthcare. So we thought, what better way can we create a legacy, a meaningful and impactful legacy to honor her desires? So we started the Peyton Walker Foundation immediately. And we knew I had so much to learn. I didn't know about sudden cardiac arrest, what it was. But we came up with the mission statement, simply increasing awareness and survival rates of sudden cardiac arrest. So I got to work, did tons of research, and really learned a lot. But I'll tell you what, this moment, who all saw this 2 years ago? Right, everybody, even if you're not a football fan, everyone tuned in to see what was going on. We had a world-class athlete collapse on a football field in full cardiac arrest. Now, Damar Hamlin's was a little bit different. It was commotio cordis, he was hit, so it caused a different kind of sudden cardiac arrest than what happened to my daughter. But this was a great launching tool, an educational tool for the entire country. Everyone finally understood what sudden cardiac arrest was. I want to share a quick video. Again, this kind of gives you some background information. What does it look like? So I'll cut that a little bit short because of time, but you see how quickly sudden cardiac arrest happens. And it's totally different than a heart attack. They're not the same thing. Our hearts are controlled by electricity. Sudden cardiac arrest is basically a power failure. Like somebody takes the switch, turns it off, and you can see instantly you drop over. You are dead. The moment you have a cardiac arrest, you are absolutely dead because your heart is not pumping blood through your body. So you have just a few minutes to be restored to life. Heart attack, completely different. That's a plumbing issue. Typically, you have signs and symptoms like chest pain, sweating, nausea, jaw pain, arm pain, and it happens over time. And as you saw those athletes, and it doesn't happen just to athletes, but these happen to be all captured, as you saw, they had no warning. They were just over. They didn't, wobble or feel sick. It was just instantaneous collapse. So cardiac arrest and heart attack, two completely different issues. Some statistics about sudden cardiac arrest. I learned it's the #1 killer of student athletes in the United States. And it is the leading cause of death on school campuses. And we really focus our efforts on preventing this happening to kids. That's our #1 priority. Every hour, every day, we lose a child to cardiac arrest. So think about that. That's like a small bus basically just driving over a cliff every single day, filled with children who lose their lives to cardiac arrest. It's unbelievable. It's so underreported how prevalent this is. Overall, there's about 1,000 cardiac arrests in the United States. That's adults, children, everybody. So 1,000 cardiac arrests in the United States, huge health issue. This is the statistic that is eye-opening. 10% of people survive. And why is that? It might be unwitnessed. People might not do CPR. They might not have access to an AED, which is a defibrillator. So when someone's in cardiac arrest, that's what they need. They need CPR. They need the shock to restore that heart rhythm and get that going again so blood is circulating. So if that doesn't all take place, this is what happens. Less than 10% of people survive. So we work every day to change that number. Once we did the research, we came up with 3 pillars of service. Where can we make the greatest impact? And we knew checking hearts, protecting hearts, and saving lives was where our energy was going to be focused. Checking hearts, we work with all the major healthcare systems. We give kids free heart screenings. We're looking for those. Remember I said it's an electrical problem. We give them an electrocardiogram looking for those electrical abnormalities in the kids' hearts. Kids don't get electrocardiograms as part of their physicals or well child visits. So we give these, we provide these free of charge. There's a flyer on your table, yes? We have some upcoming heart screenings. I'll talk about that in a minute. But at every one of our heart screenings we've done, we've screened over 6,000 kids in the last few years. Every single heart screening, we have found multiple kids with major, major issues. This is our great friend, Bella. She is now a senior at Lower Dolphin High School. She is an active athlete. She had no idea she had anything wrong with her heart. She came to a heart screening. We identified what's called Wolff-Parkinson-White. That is actually one of the leading causes of sudden cardiac death in youth, is having Wolff-Parkinson-White. We immediately referred her to additional care. She went to Hershey Med Center to have surgical correction, and she's back performing. She's an athlete, fully functional, no problem whatsoever. But our work may very well have saved her life and saved her family from the devastation that we live with. So we know great, great outcomes from our heart screenings. Couple dates I'll throw up here. We've got this Saturday for adults. For the first time, we are actually screening adults looking for heart issues. So this Saturday, completely free. We do not charge anything for these heart screenings. They're very educational and informational. Kids screening, October 4th. Everything's on our website, peytonwalker.org. So Nicole brought the flyers for everybody. You can always ask Nicole for more information as well. Protecting hearts, our next pillar. So in 2020, we were able to become the second state, this is important, only the second state in the country to pass legislation to protect kids and young hearts. Anybody who has ever, if any of your kids participate in PIAA sports, you know that big PPE packet you've got to fill out with all the information. On that PPE packet, we have Peyton's Law information in there now about sudden cardiac arrest and why you should ask for an electrocardiogram, educating parents. We get calls all the time, hey, I saw your guys' name in the PPE form. So we were able to influence that and hopefully educate parents. We're also working as part of the National Smart Heart Sports Coalition. The NFL started this after Damar Hamlin went down. And they're focusing on, we are focusing nationally to try to get legislation in place that is going to help save lives. This legislation focuses on requiring AEDs or defibrillators, requiring that schools have them for practice and sporting events, requires CPR training for coaches, and requires that schools have a plan. Do they know what to do if there's an emergency? Like, this seems like common sense, correct? Like, every school should have this. Well, I sit on these calls and I am livid. Pennsylvania is one of 4 states left that has 0 legislation around these 3 life-saving issues for kids. We are so backwards. Like I said, Peyton's Law was the 2nd state in the country to have legislation passed. We were so proud of that. And now we're at the complete opposite end of the spectrum with being one of 4 states left. We have a bill sitting it's passed the Senate, sitting in the House, and it's now become a political issue, which is inexcusable. So we're going to continue to lobby and try to get this legislation passed and protect the kiddos, but I wanted to share that with you because that should make everybody angry. Another way we protect hearts, CPR training. We go out to businesses, provide CPR training, very affordable. I never want cost to be a barrier that prevents people from learning how to save a life. So we make it very cost effective to do CPR training at your business. Nicole can give you more information about that. You'll see us at community events. We go out to there. This is at a Trinity football game. We went there. We'll go to Harrisburg Senators, community festivals. We try to get out as much as possible. We want everyone to learn CPR. So you'll see us out and about. This save station, John in this picture, he actually had a cardiac arrest at City Island last fall after completing a walk. Think of the tens of thousands of people that are down on City Island. He needed an AED. It was in the Senator Stadium, locked behind the gate. Thank God there was somebody there from the Senators, was able to open the gate, get the AED, and it saved John's life. So we said, you know what, we've got to get that AED outside that stadium. And we installed what's called a save station. So this AED, it's climate controlled, air conditioned, ventilated, and heated in the winter. That AED is now accessible. Again, think of the tens of thousands of people that visit City Island every year. Now everyone has access to that AED. We don't have to depend on somebody having a key to get in the stadium. We also just put one at Lower Allen Community Park, and we're going to be placing 3 more in Lower Allen alone. So we're really focused on getting these save stations out, making these AEDs available, and no, we're not worried about them being stolen. None of them have been stolen. One of our save station AEDs was used down in Mount Gretna to save someone's life, so theft has not been a problem. Saving lives, this is my favorite pillar. This AED was donated to Dillsburg Little League, and 2 months later was used to save the life of the woman who's holding it. Her son, Joey, had just hit a home run. She stood up to congratulate him, and she collapsed in cardiac arrest right in front of her son and his whole team in Dillsburg. And so that AED that had just been donated by us was used to save her life. She's a single mom. Joey would have been an orphan at that point. So we are so incredibly grateful that that AED was at the right place at the right time. We have donated over 1,500 or close to 2,000 AEDs all throughout the central Pennsylvania community. And we keep hearing calls and emails. Your AED was used to save a life. So we know we're making a huge, huge impact. This is definitely my favorite story today. This is 10-year-old, she was 10 at the time, Alicia, roller skating up in Enola at the skating center. She bent over to tie her skate and collapsed on the rink floor in cardiac arrest, 10 years old. This AED had been donated to the skating rink, and thank God was there and was used to save her life. She was alive and responsive before EMS ever got there, and the docs at Penn State Hershey Med said, without a doubt, if that AED had not been there, she would not have survived. It took EMS quite a while to get there. So I love this photo, and I always say, if I don't do one more thing in my lifetime, this is enough. This beautiful girl, and knowing what we saved her family from total devastation. A great new program that we have rolled out, if anyone has heard of the 4-Minute Community. There are 6 active communities in the United States. I'm going to show you the video, then tell you a little bit more about it. Now that's pretty cool, right? I mean, I've seen this video hundreds and hundreds of times, and every time I see it, I still get goosebumps. So the whole crux of this program is we give AEDs, we give them away to community members. We have 300 deployed in Cumberland County, and we've deployed 160 of our 320 that we're giving out in Dauphin County. So we have 620 AEDs given out to community members to respond to save a life of a neighbor, coworker, friend, whatever. Because if we get these in the hands of community members, they can get there so much more quickly than EMS. There's not an ambulance waiting at every corner, right? I mean, how desperate are you when you're experiencing the worst moment of your life and you're desperate for somebody to get there, and now we're giving community members these AEDs. So there's 6 communities in the United States right now who are operating this program. We've got 2 of them right here in Dauphin and Cumberland County. I just came from a meeting. It's amazing, right? Amazing. I just came from a meeting this morning, just reviewing everything, and our 911 dispatchers are absolutely doing an incredible job, and our community members are responding. We are leading the way nationally. We had the very first save with this AED right here. Alan is holding it in this photo. This AED was used to deliver a shock. Somebody out jogging in Upper Allen Township, or out walking, collapsed in cardiac arrest. People came upon him, called 911. Alan lived nearby. He got the alert, took his AED, saved the gentleman's life. The program works. It is absolutely remarkable. This is a total game changer in how we address sudden cardiac arrest in communities across the country. So we are working so hard at Peyton Walker Foundation to just really change the future. I'm so proud of this initiative. In Dauphin County, like I mentioned, this is a map. I kind of zoomed in on the Harrisburg area. All the green dots represent where AEDs are located so far in Dauphin County that we've distributed. We're about, like I said, 160 of 320 AEDs are out. So we're starting to see, we're getting the area filled in. Not so much in upper northern Dauphin County. So if you know anyone in northern Dauphin County, please refer them to Peyton Walker Foundation for information on how to get involved in 4-Minute Community. Again, it's free of charge. What's involved? Complete some online training, attend CPR training, and then be willing to respond if you get a call. And we give you the device free of charge. So please, if you're interested, let us know. We've got a community CPR class coming up October 2nd. We do a class every month, $25 for your certification, very affordable. And our big fundraising event is coming up March 19th. We would love to have your support for that. We're kind of changing gears for 2026 fundraising, so it's something different next year. Nicole will have more information about that. How can you support us? Well, many opportunities. Learn CPR. I am so dedicated to the mission, and I don't want people just to donate money and walk away. No, I want you to support the mission and live the mission and move the mission forward. Learn CPR. It's so simple. Make sure there's an AED at your workplace or where your kids play and practice sports. Like I said, we donate hundreds and hundreds of AEDs every single year. If your nonprofit organization needs an AED, we can help donate those. You can host a CPR class at your work. Join the 4-Minute Community. You can sponsor an AED. Remember I showed you the Save Station. If you'd like to sponsor a Save Station, everything can be customized, your logo on that for a community park or in a neighborhood somewhere where you can put a Save Station out. You can support our fundraising event in March. Most importantly, again, share our message. If you follow us on LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever, please share the message. The information we're putting out is saving lives. And information is so important. So if you see a post that we've put up, please share it. Make a comment, encourage others to learn CPR, and also volunteer. We're always looking for volunteers. So we have a small and mighty staff, I have to say. And when we set out on this mission in 2013, I never imagined we'd be where we are today, that we are leading the nation. Honestly, we are leading the country, little old Peyton Walker Foundation, in how we address sudden cardiac arrest, how we save lives, and how we prevent kids from having cardiac arrests. The work we're doing is absolutely remarkable. I could not be more proud of what we've accomplished. So thankful for our amazing team. But we're definitely changing the outcomes of cardiac arrest. I will forever have an empty chair at my holiday table. My daughter will never be with me to celebrate another birthday. And that's why I get to work every day, so that those of you sitting in this room don't have the empty chair. Please follow us on social. And did I make you cry again? I'm sorry. Please follow us. She's like, she hates to hear me speak over and over. Follow us on social. If we can be a resource in any way, please reach out. We can help with CPR, with AEDs, whatever you need. We just want to make an impact in a positive way. Thank you. I know we ran over, but I really appreciate your time. I tried to go fast.
Any questions for Miss Julie? That was a great presentation. You got me too.
Thank you. Yes.
After you use an AED, it can't be used again.
No, it can be. So you just need to replace, this device in particular I love. It's rechargeable. You just plug it in. It holds a charge for 8 months. Once you use the pads, you just replace the pads. And then if some other devices, like this one, I think the battery is about 4 or 6 years long, and you replace the pads every 2 years. So yeah, you can absolutely, at Redland High School, they had a cardiac arrest. Thank goodness they replaced the pads and used the same AED like 2 weeks later. So for another, and thankfully, like I said, it was insane, but they had replaced the pads and it was ready to go. Any other questions?
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, so you're focusing on the AEDs and CPR. What's I know you're saying like 10% survival without any life-saving measures, but what's the increase, I guess, in the survival rate if these are employed?
So if you have a CPR is used and an AED is accessible, you can get those survival rates up to about 70 to 75%. Sometimes people are in cardiac arrest that is just, it's not a shockable rhythm. There's nothing you can do. Sometimes, and we've had community members respond in this program, and they've done everything correctly, and there's just not always a positive outcome. But to us, just getting our community members there is a success. So you're still going to lose some people, but we can move that needle tremendously.
And is the 4 minutes significant for like that's the amount of time you have?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I didn't mention that. So 4 minutes is really critical. If we can get an AED and CPR on somebody within 4 minutes of when that call comes into 911, that improves the outcomes tremendously. So every minute that passes from the moment someone has a cardiac arrest, their chance of survival decreases 10% every minute that passes. And that's why we say you can't just stand there and wait for EMS to arrive, because that could be 15 minutes and then they have no chance. So within that first 4 minutes, it's such a critical time if we can get these AEDs deployed. And our times lately have been absolutely amazing. Our volunteers are accepting those alerts, responding as quickly as they can, and getting there fast. It's been amazing. And AEDs, how much do they cost? That's usually a question. So we have great pricing with some of our manufacturing partners, so around $1,500 to $1,700, which are heavily discounted. Don't buy AEDs on Amazon. I'm not kidding. Like, some of them are not FDA approved, that we keep trying to get them taken off Amazon. So please don't buy them Amazon. Reach out to us if you have any questions about that.
Thank
Anything
you.
else? Oh, she's got, can we get one
Sorry.
more?
Go ahead.
Do you have brief counseling for the people who lose people?
We have great resources, absolutely, that we lead people to. There's also the Sudden Cardiac Arrest Foundation that we recommend people to as well. But then if there's anybody locally, we can always connect people. So
Have you reached out to the pastors?
I have not personally, no.
I'm wondering if that might be helpful.
Probably, I'm sure.
And also having them in churches.
We to churches, like in Harrisburg for this 4-minute community program, we are placing some of them in churches where they're, it's a high traffic area. The community knows and relies on the churches. So we're really trying to get them engaged as much as possible. Of course, thank you.
Another round of applause for Julie. We do have something for you. 2 things, actually. We have a 4-way test plaque for you, so you can remember the 4-way test. Thank you for being a guest speaker. And then also, we have a Where I Live book. This book is written by Deborah Horvitz. She actually gives these books to third graders here in Harrisburg. So I was wondering if you could do us the honor of signing the inside of the book, and then when we donate it to the kids, they'll have your name on the inside and a little inspirational message. Almost, yeah, that would have been funny. Gotcha. So I'll give these to you. Let's take a picture, and then, yeah, we'll let everybody head out on the right. So, Don't forget pancake committee meeting right after this meeting. Go forth and serve.